Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're diving into a fantastic explainer covering a story that literally has it all. We're talking mystery, magic, and, well, a couple of very relatable everyday arguments. We are unpacking The Secret of the Magical Cave. So if you're the kind of person who loves tales that start off totally ordinary but then take a wild, mystical turn, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's get right into it.
Okay, to kick things off, picture this. Imagine you're walking through a dense, completely isolated forest. It's quiet, maybe a little too quiet. And then suddenly a terrifying, incredibly loud voice echoes through the trees. What do? Would you actually walk toward that dark, spooky cave to see what's going on? Or would you spin around and run as fast as you can in the opposite direction? Well, keep your answer in mind because the characters in our story today are about to face this exact dilemma.
Section 1. The unexpected journey begins. A relatable argument.
So right off the bat, we have this stark, almost hilarious contrast between our two main characters. On one side, we have Ramu. He's just kicking back, eating his meal, and honestly, the guy's a bit of a couch potato. He just wants to stay home and relax. But then on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, we have his wife, Radha. She is proactive, she's incredibly bored of staring at the same four walls, and she's itching to get out. She wants to go visit her parents or, at the very least hit the market for some shopping. These completely clashing personalities are basically the engine that drives this whole adventure.
As you might guess, Radha's determination completely steamrolls Ramu's laziness. She essentially threatens to just leave and go by herself if he won't tag along. So Ramu very reluctantly rushes through the rest of his meal, and the two of them set off. The catch? To get to her parents' house, they have to navigate their way through this dense, sprawling forest. It's the perfect setup, really. It rips the comfortable, lazy character right out of his safe little bubble.
Section 2. Mystery in the forest. A terrifying sound.
As they leave the safety of their village behind, the trees start getting thicker, the light gets a bit dimmer, and the whole vibe gets, well, pretty spooky. So they're trekking through the woods. And what are they doing? They're bickering. Seriously, Radha is complaining that Ramu never takes her anywhere fun, and Ramu is whining about having to walk so far just to see her parents. It's this completely mundane, everyday squabble happening right in the middle of nowhere. But then, out of nowhere, their arguing is completely cut short by a terrifying, booming voice echoing through the trees.
Now, Ramu's immediate reaction is pure panic. He assumes it's some sort of monster or wild animal and is ready to sprint back home. But Radha? She actually stops in her tracks. She listens closely and she says, "I think someone needs help." It's such a defining, incredible moment for her. Her compassion and her absolute bravery completely override any fear she might be feeling.
The dynamic here is just fantastic. It's comedy gold mixed with high-stakes suspense. You've got a terrified Ramu, muttering under his breath about how she's going to get them both eaten, dragging his feet, but still reluctantly following his fearless wife straight into danger. Radha takes the lead, tracking that frightening noise right to its source.
Section 3. Entering the magical cave. Finding the source. And guess what? The giant, scary monster they thought they were walking in on? Yeah, not a monster at all. Deep inside this pitch-black cave, they find a small, helpless, injured fox crying out in pain. Radha's gut instinct was 100% right. Someone really did need their help.
But hold on, because here is where the story completely flips the script. To their absolute mind-blowing shock, the fox looks right at them and actually starts talking. It explains that they've stumbled into a Jadui Gufa, a magical cave. This isn't your average pile of rocks. It's a mystical place where everything, down to the plants and animals, holds magical properties. And that's exactly how this little fox is able to have a full-blown conversation with them.
Section 4. Healing the talking fox. Radha springs to action.
So the fox gives Radha a very specific, magical to-do list to save its life. Step 1. She needs to find a particular glowing plant that grows inside the cave. Step 2. She has to apply that plant directly onto the fox's wound. And step 3? Bam! The result is instant. The fox is miraculously completely healed. Because she was willing to listen and brave enough to step into the unknown, she literally saved a life.
And you know, the payoff here is just incredibly heartwarming. The fox is overflowing with deep, sincere gratitude for both of them. It had been trapped there, crying in agony for who knows how long, and out of everyone who might have heard it, they were the only ones brave enough to answer the call instead of just running away.
Section 5. A rewarding secret. The ultimate prize.
Right as they're turning around to leave and get back on the road, the fox stops them. It insists that because they braved the magical cave and saved its life, they deserve a reward. And man, talk about hitting the jackpot. The fox hands them a magical pot completely overflowing with gold and silver. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, their entire lives are transformed.
But of course, there's always a catch, right? A massive gift like this comes with some massive responsibility. The fox leaves them with a very serious, chilling warning. Never tell anyone about this cave because people want to misuse it. It's a profound reminder that sudden wealth and magic can attract a lot of dark, greedy attention. Protecting the secret of this cave is now entirely on their shoulders. Honestly, it's just hilarious to look back at the absolute roller coaster of a day these two just had. Think about it. In the morning, they're grumpy, arguing in their living room about being lazy. By midday, they're playing detective in a creepy forest and performing magical first aid on a talking fox. And by evening, they are ridiculously wealthy. And the absolute cherry on top is Radha's reaction at the end. Suddenly, she announces she doesn't actually need to visit her parents anymore. Now that she's holding a literal pot of gold, she just wants to turn right around and go on a massive shopping spree.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, first off, courage and compassion can totally overpower fear. Radha proved that the second she walked toward that spooky voice. Second, kindness, especially to vulnerable creatures like animals, can bring some seriously unexpected rewards. And finally, being given a great gift means you have to shoulder the heavy responsibility of protecting it. It's amazing how many timeless, beautiful life lessons are packed right into this entertaining little adventure.
Which leaves us with a pretty massive question for you to chew on. If it were you, if you stumbled into that magical cave and were handed an endless pot of gold and silver, could you actually keep it a secret? Or would the temptation to brag about it just be way too much to handle? Really think about that. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to unravel our next fascinating topic with you very soon. Catch you next time.